we're gonna watch now the new dev block for Demacia, which I haven't watched yet. And excuse my voice, I'm really sick. Okay, let's see what route is cooking up. Damn.
Hey everyone, I'm Paul, aka Pabro.
And I'm Andre, also known as Medla. Welcome to Season 1 of 2026.
We're back to talk more about some
Not
of the
too
things we
excited
have
about the
coming
new
this
season.
as well as a little bit about some plans later in 2026 and beyond.
Alright,
First though, let's quickly recap what you can expect when you log in tomorrow.
alright, let's recap it. Damn, new skins, classic. New items.
Whether you're playing ranked, norms, or swift play, you're in for some changes. Right off the bat, in those queues, you'll be hitting your first minions faster as we increase speeds in champ select and the first minion and jungle spawns. We also adjusted some
Zoomer
gameplay
TikTok
systems
game?
like
Yeah.
Fairlights for expanded temporary warding zones, 9 new and returning items, and a new demolish-like mechanic on towers called Crystalline Overgrowth.
We've streamlined some objectives as well, removing Artican and his Blood Roses, as
This
well
is
as
just
feats
a
of strength.
recap.
And we've made the remaining epic objectives, like Baron and Dragons, a bit stronger.
Okay.
Finally, we're also adding a unique role quest to top, mid, and bot lane.
Bro, I still... I'm still so skeptical about role quests. I really am, man. Like, it's a cool idea, but I just don't think it executes well. I just think... the way you're jailed to just lane for 12 minutes... And the fact that top laners are gonna be like 5 levels on an ADC... and stuff. Oh, it's so cooked.
Similar to the jungle and support quests, which are also getting some upgrades. Each lane will progress on those quests by killing minions, taking towers, killing enemies, or helping take down neutral objectives. And then once complete, these quests will grant rewards based off your position. That means an increased level cap and free teleport spell for top laners, tier 3 boots and
So-
empowered recall for mid, or more gold and a 7th item slot for bot.
I mean, I could yap about this all this time, which I already like gave a lot of my thoughts. I think top lane quest is for sure the strongest.
There's a lot more in store, including a whole bunch of additional changes for swift play. If you want a refresher, check out the dev blogs from December that are linked in the description.
Okay.
All right, moving on. Let's talk a bit about what you can expect going into Season 1. As we shared in December, this year we wanted to kick things off with unity, justice, and righteousness. And that means Demacia. But even
Demacia?
more importantly, that means it's Shyvana time, y'all.
As most of you probably saw in yesterday's cinematic,
So, the most disappointing thing about Shyvana is that apparently, I'm not 100% on this, but apparently the kit is the same. What the fuck, Riot? Really?
she's looking pretty nifty with a new design. And after years of
Well,
waiting,
she
she's
looks
finally
cool.
getting her update in Act 2 of this season. Now, aside from updated visuals for her base human and dragon
She looks
face,
cool.
and of course all her skins, she's got a sort of a Dr. Mundo or Volibear
Oh,
level
okay.
gameplay.
Dr. Mundo or Volibear level gameplay rework. So this kind of means that the kit will be the same, but, you know, maybe she gets a new passive, or, you know, maybe she... Because Dr. Mundo is like new passive, right? But the rest of the kit was kind of similar, and then a slightly different W. Volibear level gameplay rework is... also slightly different E, right? It was, and then maybe slightly different Q. W was kind of similar. Yeah, so it's like, I guess it won't be completely the same. So, I think not bad.
work. At a high level, her abilities remain pretty similar, but her finer kit details and gameplay feel are meaningfully updated.
We really wanted to focus on connecting her two forms better throughout her kit. One of the clearest connections for that is her ult. Shyvana still gains fury when using abilities and taking down champions, cannons, and monsters. When she has enough fury, she can cast her ult to transform into an actual dragon this time and breathe down fire on everyone in her path.
Another part of her
Okay.
kit that's pretty similar to now is her passive. Shyvana will gain defensive stats and max fury for taking down champions, cannons, and neutral monsters.
Oh!
Build-wise,
What? So Shyvana will no longer have a passive that's bound to Joggons, but the passive will now just get 3 defensive stats, which is probably Armor and MR, and Max Fury. So Max Fury means that she maybe stays in the Joggon form longer late game.
for taking down champions,
Champions, cannons, and neutral monsters. Okay, interesting.
cannons, and neutral monsters. Build-wise, we wanted to preserve her ability to be played both as a bruiser or as a mage.
Yeah, this makes sense. Like, Shyvana being able to be played bruiser and mage is probably a good thing for the game, because like League needs characters that don't feel awkward when they can build many different variations. Like for example, AP Jax and AD Jax is kind of cool. But some other champions, when you build them, can build them both AP and AD. One of them is very toxic compared to the other one. Like for example, maybe it's not the best example, but I am not a big fan of AD Katrina. I think AP Katrina is just a lot better gameplay for the game. But there's like other champions in the game that maybe I could bring better examples.
That said, though, in terms of a core champion theme, we want her Bruiser build to be the primary choice.
Ooh, they want the Bruiser build to be the primary choice. That is cool. And I can see the point of that, because maybe AP Shyvana can be a little bit of a more brain-dead gameplay with like max range ease, But then again, Bruiser Shyvana can also be very brain-dead. So it's hard to go which one to go for, but I can understand Riot here leaning towards Bruiser. I think it makes sense.
Natural feeling one for most games. So we're going to be prioritizing that a bit over being a poke mage.
Okay.
We want to save the rest of her kit for her full reveal in Act 2, and we can't wait to see what you all think when you get your hands, or claws, on her in a few patches.
Okay.
Summoner's Rift has a Demacia-themed reskin with Petricite Towers, gold-winged accents, and a few Easter eggs. There will also be a handful of motion comics throughout the season that will follow up on some of the moments from the season start cinematic.
Okay.
Outside of that, we also have a metagame that will be live tomorrow called Demacia Rising. We're trying something different this time with a metagame that evolves over the course of the season, with updates coming out at regular intervals. In Demacia Rising, you'll experience the rise of the Kingdom of Demacia through the eyes of a young Lux, as she gets lessons in history, politics, and military strategy from her aunt, Tiana Crownguard.
You'll help take Demacia from its humble beginnings as a single small settlement.
That literally looks like a browser game, bro. It looks like a browser game where you're like upgrading your structures and building army. The main farm, quarry, lumberyard, quarry. That's cool.
Shiny nation. In Demacia Rising, you'll collect resources, unlock research, and recruit champions to grow your kingdom, all while fighting off invaders and suppressing threats from within.
That's kind of cool.
We took a lot of learnings from previous metagames, and we wanted
It's
to
like
make
a
sure
Flash
you
game.
could play the way you wanted to, rather than needing to, say, dedicate 15 to 30 minutes at a time when engaging with a metagame like this. This time, you can spend as much or as little time as you want building and managing your cities, and you'll be able to complete fights through auto-battling. Now, if you choose to spend more time playing,
Raid Shadow Legends
you'll be
or
rewarded
what?
with some bonus Battle Pass XP.
And finally, outside of Demacia-related things coming this season, we also wanted to take a moment to discuss ARAM Mayhem. It's been an
ARAM
incredibly popular
Mayhem
mode since it came
It's
out.
like the most obvious thing that they're gonna extend it, right? I called this months ago. The game mode, people like it too much. It's superior to normal ARAM, and people love it. And it's so obvious they're gonna extend it like Arena.
Last year. Tons of you have been playing it, and you've been telling us a lot about how much fun you're having with all the wacky augments. So, it's going to be sticking around for a while longer.
We're also working on a larger update to ARAM Mayhem that will come out in patch 26.3. We'll
Nice.
share a bit more about that, though, when we get closer to the time. Outside of thematic changes, we have another change that we're trialing in some regions starting tomorrow. Last year, we were working on really addressing game running behavior,
Yeah.
things like inting and griefing. And we have some other improvements to cut down on dodging and lobby trolling. Like removing the ability to ban your ally's hovered champion or making it so that autofill persists through dodges.
Okay.
We have another body of work that pairs with those two efforts. Lobby hostage.
Not being able to ban your teammate's champion is a good thing, unless the champion is new. Like, let's say Zahen is just released. You want to ban Zahen, but your teammate is hovering it, right? Or something like that. When it comes to new champions, not being able to ban them is a bad thing.
Through dodges.
We have another body of work that pairs with those two efforts. Lobby hostage intervention. Right now, there isn't a good way for us to take immediate action on bad actors who hold lobbies hostage by threatening to run it down or just to play something that doesn't work.
This is true, especially because reporting in Champions Select doesn't do anything.
Either you or someone else is forced to dodge, or you have to play the game out, which means more often than not, it ends in a loss. And while the perpetrator gets punished and you get some LP refunded, your time has ended.
So, starting tomorrow, in some regions, you'll be able to terminate lobbies that are held hostage by bad actors.
That's cool.
We've been running some tests on live servers for some time now, using your lobby reports to refine the system.
That's cool.
And we have high confidence in our day one accuracy. We're not going to explain exactly how this works, because we don't want said bad actors to try and find ways around the system. But we are going to look at a variety of triggers. Things like, text intention. If somebody says, I'm going to run it down, we're actually going to trust them on that one. Or
But that is crazy, because you could just sarcastically say, game is lost, I'm gonna run it down and not do it, and then the lobby will get terminated. You have to be careful what you write.
if they're doing something like taking ghost cleanse on a champ in a lane they never play, same deal.
Wow, that is interesting, because what if Ghost Cleanse is a legitimate strategy? Probably not, right?
If the lobby is terminated, you'll be returned to the queue, similar to how it works now when someone dodges. If you enjoy playing viable off-meta picks, don't need to worry about it. We still want experimentation to thrive in League, so we'll be closely monitoring how the system works with manual
It's a good
reviews.
thing. This
We'll
what
be
they're
rolling
doing
out these
is a good
changes
thing.
to all regions slowly to ensure that it remains high accuracy.
Okay, and with all that said, we're now going to hand things over to Riot Hylia and 100-piece nuggets, and they'll talk a bit about some of the skins we have coming out this
Skins
season.
time! Woohoo! Classic. Classic.
Hi everyone, I'm A Million Piece Nuggets.
And I'm Riot Hylia. New year, same us. We're back to talk to y'all about skins, art, and who's going to be hitting the Rift in Season 1.
As Pabro and Medler said in December, we're going to have a mix of Demacian and non-Demacian skins to liven things up this season.
So, for both our grab bag skins and our larger lineups, we're reviving some beloved thematics as well as doing some totally new ones.
Starting off strong, next patch will have skins for all our fellow anime lovers. First up, we have Battle Academia Briar and Samira, alongside our new stylized...
Battle Academia Samira, I swear she has skins that look exactly the same as that skin line. No? She has that legendary skin that like literally already fulfills that
take
wish.
on mecha anime, with
Oh.
a skin for Ornn and a new legendary
okay.
skin for Gal.
Wow,
New
okay.
stylized take on
No,
mecha
that
anime,
looks good.
With a skin for Ornn,
The Ornn one looks awesome,
and
and
a
the
new
Galio
legendary skin
one
for Gal.
looks fucking good. But I have to admit, the Briar and Samira, they look kind of whatever. Not excited for
New
this.
stylized take on mecha anime, with a skin for Ornn,
They didn't show
and a
Samira,
new
though.
legendary skin for Galio.
The
I am
Galio looks so
excited for
cool.
Aegis friend
Wow.
Galio. The team's done an amazing job, and he is looking so
That
cool
looks
in
so
game.
cool.
good.
I can't wait. Oh, and of course, we'll also be celebrating Lunar Rebel this year. When we were deciding what skins to make, we had a few different ideas. We could bring back something that we haven't done in a while, or we could try something new entirely. And honestly, we couldn't decide. So,
Why not both?
yep.
Firecracker will be returning this year, bringing a fun,
Caitlyn?
celebratory, and upbeat style.
And
to
I'm not sure what
with
this is.
lots of, well, firecrackers.
Firecrackers. And then we'll have a new thematic that we're calling Petals
Seraphim?
of Spring that we made in collaboration with Wild Rift.
I can't
Petals of
recognize
Spring
League
is
champions.
inspired
This
by
is
the beautiful
Yasuo.
elegance of plum blossoms against snowy fields. We really wanted something that could herald the new season of
That
spring
looks
with
cool.
that high
I like
beauty,
this one.
just to make sure we had some tonal
Lilia,
contrast from
that
the
looks
fun
cool.
of Firecracker.
But Lilia just got a new skin. It's so weird that she's getting another one so soon.
But if you're looking for something a little goofier, don't worry. We have some pretty unhinged ideas for April Fools this year.
We certainly do. Like last year, we aren't going with a single overarching theme for April Fools, and instead, we're making skins based on what works well for
This is
each
good.
champion. And we were inspired by a pretty
This
wide
looks
range
cool.
of things like balloon animals, pugs,
Sonks.
to name a
This looks
few.
cool.
Later in Act 2, we'll see a darker side of Demacia with a new set of skins. And we've also got a totally new thematic we're introducing for First Stand this year.
It's a brand new take on the established Road Warrior theme, where we're reimagining it in a supernaturally fueled, engine-powered fantasy with more edge, leather, chrome, and
Okay.
maybe a little bit of werewolves?
Just a little bit.
Just enough, yeah.
All right, outside of regular skin drops, we wanted to take a moment to discuss some lists. So first, prestige skins.
Prestige Mother Morgana will be out tomorrow. And then later
Prestige
this
Mother Morgana. What?
season, Sona and Mordekaiser will also be receiving prestige skins.
Outside of prestige skins, we also have
Okay, maybe a hot take. I think prestige skins are all terrible in League. There's not a single good one. Because they're usually just a chroma. Like, they're the most overrated thing that Riot has ever put out. Like, they're never worth buying unless you're literally a millionaire. It's literally just a fucking chroma, bro.
a mythic variant for Aurelian Soul coming next patch, and later this season, Master Yi will be getting one as well.
And finally, let's talk about Exalted skins. Last year we mentioned that Viego would be receiving one, and then that he was delayed. But now it's finally time. Next patch, Revenant Reign Viego will come to the Sanctum.
Okay.
We worked with a ton of Viego mains to talk about what the ultimate Viego experience is, and it became pretty obvious. Killing your enemies and taking over their bodies.
Oh, and having a huge sword.
Right,
Yeah.
the sword.
Yeah, iconic. Yeah.
So with that in mind, we narrowed in on a combination of those two things. So Revenant Rain Viego collects swords from his enemies, gaining power and unique visual effects
Okay.
for every class of enemy.
That
he
looks cool.
possesses.
There are a ton of cool moments and features in the skin that we cannot wait for y'all to see. So keep your eyes peeled for the trailer that drops later today.
Okay.
And finally, we wanted to let you know that the Victoria skin this season will be everyone's favorite mustachioed
Brom.
muscle man, Brom. As a reminder, you can get the skin at any rank as long as you play enough games.
All right, well, that's it for us. We'll hand things over to the esports team who've got some updates on their plans for the year.
Thanks so much for watching, and we'll be back soon.
Bye.
Bye.
Okay.
Hi everyone, I'm Waylon, head of international publishing and esports.
And I'm Chris, head of League of Legends Esports.
We're incredibly excited to welcome you to the start of the 2026 League of Legends esports season.
Okay.
2025 was a historic year for us, filled with unforgettable storylines, big changes to the format, and incredible competition.
Fearless.
And of course, a huge congratulations once again to T1, who made history by becoming the first team ever to win 3 consecutive world championships. What an unbelievable accomplishment for them and for all the fans who followed their journey.
Now, as we turn the page to new year, we're ready to kick off another incredible season, one that builds on everything we've learned, celebrates our global community, and continues pushing LoL esports forward. Let's dive into what's ahead for 2026 and some key updates shaping the future of LoL esports.
Okay.
And what better way to begin the season than with our first global event of the year, First Stand. From March 16th to the 22nd, we'll be bringing First Stand to Sao Paulo, Brazil at the Riot Games Arena. Brazil has always been home to some of the most passionate fans in the world, and we couldn't be more excited to bring this event to the heart of CBLOL country. With the LCS and CBLOL returning as independent leagues, the competition will now feature 8 teams battling for early season dominance and regional pride.
Okay.
We'll be welcoming 2 teams from the LCK, 2 from the LPL, and 1 each from the LEC,
So LCK
LCS,
or
CBLOL,
LPL is
and
winning.
LCP.
Okay.
Every match will be best of 5, which means more games, more silver scrapes, and more opportunities for teams to show their skill, adaptability, and their creativity under pressure.
Okay.
And that's just the beginning of what's ahead for our 2026 global events. After First Stand wraps up in Brazil, we'll head into the Mid-Season Invitational, hosted this year in Daejeon, South Korea, marking the first time we've ever brought MSI to this incredible city. We'll have more to share on the venue soon, but we couldn't be more excited to bring one of our biggest international events to a new stage in South Korea. And as we head into the new season, in the wake of the success of Fearless, we're continuing to refine how League is played at the highest level.
Okay.
We've been exploring an improvement to side selection in order to give players and teams more agency in the draft.
Yeah, so
Okay.
after detailed discussions with regional leagues, pro teams, and our gameplay team, we've decided to decouple side selection and draft order through a new approach we're calling First Selection. Here's how it works. Teams
Okay.
who previously had the right of side selection will now have the right of first selection.
Okay.
That means they can choose either which side to play on, blue or red, or whether to pick first or second in the draft.
So that's gonna be an interesting adaptation. I think the reason why Riot is doing that is because historically and famously, people have complained that blue side is too OP in League of Legends because you get the first pick and yeah. So they're trying to split the power between blue and red side. So now you have to either choose, hey, do you want to be blue or red side, or do you want to pick first, but then the enemy team can choose whether they want to be blue or red side. Very interesting in my opinion. Very interesting. I don't know what the new meta is gonna be when thinking about this, but
Once that choice is made, their opponent can choose the other. So if Team A chooses to play on blue side, Team B gets to decide whether they're going to draft first or second. Or if Team A chooses to draft first, then Team B gets to decide which side they'll play on.
okay.
This decoupling gives pro teams more strategic flexibility to shape their approach based on their comfort, their preparation, their opponent scouting, whatever, rather than having to rely on the baked-in advantage that is tied to color.
And our goal here is simple. We want to empower teams to make meaningful choices that reflect their strategies and preparation, while also helping to mitigate side imbalance through competitive decision-making rather than through hard-coded advantages.
Okay.
We consider this a minor but targeted update, one designed to complement Fearless draft, not redefine it. We'll continue to test, monitor,
think this is
and collect
cool. I don't
feedback from
think
players and
I'm
fans as the
negative
season
towards this.
unfolds, ensuring that this new
We'll see how
approach
it
drives the
unfolds.
right kind of competitive balance and depth that we're aiming for.
As we continue refining how competition evolves, it's just as important to honor the players who have shaped League Esports into what it is today. Hall of Legends will return later than usual this year, but fans can still expect its comeback ahead of Worlds 2026. We'll have more to share in the months ahead, but we can promise that our third inductee is another true icon who has left an unforgettable mark on our esports community.
Well, that's a wrap on the latest updates from LoL Esports.
Whatever,
We're
Hall of
looking forward-
Legends, no one cares about Hall of Legends. Outro.
Esports.
Before we go, we want to talk about some longer-term plans for League after 2026.
Let's see, let's hear it.
We're often asked if we're going to make League of Legends 2 someday.
We already heard
And
this
the
part.
answer to that has been and remains no. We've always been committed to constantly improving and updating League, from new game modes and champion updates to balancing the game every other week and so on.
There are some things, though, that do make the most sense as part of a larger bundle of changes.
We already heard
With that
all
in
of
mind,
this.
We've been working on some bigger updates to League.
We're not quite ready to show you our work in progress. It's coming along well, but it's just not ready for a first look yet. We want to tell you about some of those things that, at this point, the majority of the League team are now working on.
So, for starters, we're making a brand new around game client that's fully integrated with the in-game experience, rather than being a separate application like today.
We're also revamping Summoner's Rift with entirely new visuals and a bit of new gameplay.
Plus some changes to runes and how you make some pre-game choices.
Which is the same video,
We're
yeah.
overhauling the new player experience so that once we're done, it should be the best time ever to get your friends into League.
There is a bit more to this update than we've mentioned here, and we'll have more to share sometime later this year between MSI and Worlds. Until then, we'll still of course have regular dev updates on everything else going on.
Your love and dedication to League is what drives us to make this game better. Your voices and input are vital to League and will help shape where we go next. So as always,
Well-
thank you so much for your time, your support, and just for everything. Good luck, have fun, and we'll see you on the Rift.
Thank you all.
Well, cool, you know, like, I'm not unhappy or anything. I think maybe half the video was kind of useless, but some of the new skins are looking cool, and then there's also, like, lobby hostage intervention looks pretty cool and stuff, so not too bad, not too bad. What the fuck? What is he doing? What did I tell? Galio Mecha, right? Oh my god, that's it. God damn, look at that! Oh my, that looks cool. That is the new best Galio skin, guaranteed, bro. Look at that shit, fucking boss. God damn. That looks insane.
To save humanity.
Oh my, look at that sound effect when he autos. Holy, look at that. W. Damn. What the fuck? Okay. I love this. Anything else being teased? Oh, Revenant Reign of Viega. Alright, let's see it.
I still fear them. Blades buried in my back.
Okay.
You trusted death to be my end.
Okay.
But death knows only one. Kill me.
Damn. The music, the drop.
I will turn your swords against you. One by one.
Okay, that looks good. That's also a good skin. That's a good skin. Even the music of the video matches.
Betrayer! Oathbreaker!
Damn. That looks really cool. Holy.
You will beg for the end. For death.
Now that looks cool. That looks really cool. Alright, anything else? Battle of Professor Samir. I haven't seen this one.
Some action.
Yeah. It's okay, I guess. Not really my type of skin, but
You're gonna need it.
it's okay. Honestly, ultimate. Give me ultimate. Yeah, nothing special. We're going to be adjusting duo queue restrictions to make challenger duo more restrictive. Okay, that's good. Due to an issue with some Aranos placements, we disable rank for an hour. There's been discussion about how we're redefining region.
G2 now?
How we're defining region boundaries for lane mid-top, and how it's frustrating to deep out of lane to ward and get quest progress punished. Don't have anything to share, but agree it's an issue. Bro, I called this weeks ago. Literally weeks ago, before the new season even dropped, I literally said that the way quest works is fucking dumb, and how you're incentivized to press S after clearing a wave in lane. I called this weeks ago, and people in comments were calling me that I'm delusional. Bro, Riot has to adjust it already faster than 24 hours before the patch is out. Like, oh, bro. I could literally tell all of this to them before the patch even hits live, but they just don't have playtesters. I have no idea what they're doing, bro. This was so obvious to me. I played like 3 games of League on the new season, and I fucking knew all of this was gonna happen.